Hello and welcome back to the Mobius Archives. This is your host, Mobius Rex, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. When last we left, we just got back from the moon, doing a little bit of a rescue mission, bringing some of our people back, safe and sound, even though they've exploded a few times on the way. But we have a little bit of science left over, and I think that's even enough. I think that's even enough to get us one of this level of technology. So I'm thinking large volume containment. That gives us super large tanks that we can use to take off from Kerbin. Yeah, why don't we do that? Grab a super large tank, research that. And we'll go ahead and purchase some of these parts. Some of these tanks. We get all of them. I don't know what they do. And that is a start. All right. So what we have today, we have the Supreme Moon 4 rallies. We have two rallies, the Minmus 4 and the Moon 4. Minmus 4, it's Ike, Duna, Moon, Minus. Moon 4 is Moon, Duna, Minus, and land on Ike. So to do that, we have to be able to get to, well, Duna. And so we have to land on Ike and finish on the surface of Ike using a single vessel, and when we do that, we can plant the flag on Ike. But we will see. We will see if we'll even make it that far. So, what will we do? We can take... We're pretty much going to start with an all-new ship. We're going to start with the command pod. We're going to call this the Supreme Moon 4 Challenge 1. Sure, we'll call it that. Supreme Moon 4 Challenge 1. Alright. So, first thing I'm going to toss on this, I'm going to toss on some parachutes, because I kind of want to bring this back. So I'm just going to toss a drogue chute right in the front there. And then in triplicate, I'm going to toss on some of these radium mount parachutes, just making sure that we don't get the doors in the way. Alright, save that there. And then for structural, we want to decouple. Is it you? Is it you? No, you're too small. Is it you? Rockomax, brand decoupling. Oh, we don't want that just yet. We want re-entry. So that's aerodynamics. Heat shield, too small. Too big. Just right. There we go. And then get our decoupler. Because we really do want to take this back home. And I actually have extra plans for this anyway. We want some fuel tanks. We'll get an RCS fuel tank, and we will take... Well, this is a problem, because I kind of want to bring the nuclear engine. Nuclear? Where are you? Swivel, Reliant, Nerve Atomic Fuel Engine. Only want to bring one with us. But that requires a fuel tank, so the Nerve... Where are you? I lost you again. You only take liquid fuel. It does not take oxidizer. So by taking one of these and removing all the oxidizer in there, there is a chance that we may be able to bring this ship back. But if we don't, we're going to need a couple more things. So I'm just going to slap on that nerve. And importantly, toss on a couple Clampotron docking ports, just a couple. So that if we need a refueler to come up and visit us, we'll have that. If we have that, we'll want some lights, as we've learned from experience. Lights from experience, whoops. So I have to get these reoriented. Just want them, I usually have them above, pointing out, just so that we know when we're getting close to docking. If we have lights, we'll need battery packs. Put them here. We'll need some way to recharge. I like having a couple passive photovoltaics. And just put it on that section there. And I like having 1x6 or 3x2. Let's do 1x6s. No, I usually do 1x6. Let's do 3x2s. And we'll do that like so. That should keep us nicely charged. I'll need to provide a ladder of some type. One of these is retractable, I think. This one. Gotta get into a position where it's kind of useful. Hopefully my Kerbals will be able to jump up on that. And then just add a few of these mobility assisting pieces. Because if possible, the last thing this ship will do will go to Duna and come back. Doesn't go to Duna, well, hopefully it'll at least be able to come back. So we're just going to line this with ladders. Well, this doesn't look like it's a viable craft. Doesn't look like the nuclear engine it's designed to land. This is as far down as I could get these landing struts. I've used the offset tool to try to just push these all the way down, but that's as far as we get. Looks like we'll need a redesign if we plan to get off of Duna. So we do have these grid segments here, the modular grid segments, and that seems to be like that's what we'll need to bring these down. Bring these landing struts down, and now, knowing our history, that's upside down. So, face those like so. Start extended. There we go. That should get us down. I'd like to move these as far down as possible. That's it. Maybe a second grid segment will help out. Take these off and give us just another one of these. Yeah, you had a snap. Sometimes it does it for you, sometimes it doesn't. But there we go. And we'll probably want strut connectors to keep this thing stable when we land, and just like so. So the ladder comes down to where, basically where we could get up if this was directly on the ground. But when this is deployed, we may get into trouble here. I don't know. We'll see if we make it to Duna in the first place. So this section here, we want to hopefully get us to Duna. We don't really want to get much further than that, just to Duna. Get that on Duna and land. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. The parachute should be all we need to land on Duna. This should get us to Duna. Doesn't have any oxidizer in there. This is a Poodle engine, should get us to Duna's sphere of influence. We want another decoupler here. And we're just going to add on another engine. Probably too tall, but we'll see. Skipper. It's that. This one, the goal is to get out of Duna's orbit, or out of Kerbin's orbit, out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. And below that comes the big parts. Raise this all the way up as we can. So down here, I'm putting one of these orange tanks and the best engine we have. This has the most thrust, so this should help us out lower down. Where are you? 186,000, or yeah, 1866,000 at sea level versus 1379. Let's go like that. Could probably even add another section of fuel here. Why don't we? Okay, so how about we'll just overdo this if we can. Give a double. And one more engine. That'll be the mainsail. So this will get us out into Kerbin orbit and hopefully not much farther than that. And add one more here. Add another orange tank. Like so. And you down here. So this is pretty much the tallest I think a rocket ship will be able to make. Not entirely certain how stable this is going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be wobbling around like a wet noodle. But we'll see. We'll add a couple offset structural connections here and here. We'll add in our largest fuel tanks as possible. And a little bit more on top of those. These are going to give us the biggest boost they can before we drop them off entirely. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating something ridiculously large. Probably isn't warranted at all. But I want to use some of the mirroring that we have. So there is this thing here, radial attachment point. And I want to get this into 4-point mirroring. And on top of that, I want to attach mainsail liquid engine. Like so. Looks good, right? Let's go ahead and save that. Because that's... Oops. Cancel. What we want to do is actually take this, put this in advanced mode, in sub-assemblies, and just drop it here. Call this quad sail. Save that. And then go back to the Supreme Moon Challenge 1. We are going to add a structural attachment radial decoupler. Let's just do double. See how that goes. Looks to be right. And sub-assemblies, I'll take that quad sail. We're going to be dropping this almost immediately after we take off. And we'll just add in a couple strut connectors to keep this from hitting each other. So when this detaches, we shouldn't have any problems with this hitting it. Hopefully. But I guess we'll find out. Alright, I think we have the Supreme Moon 4 Challenge 1 ready to go. This probably isn't recommended at all. I have the feeling this thing is just going to bend over. But, Valentina, Mirabelle, Asegi? Mirabelle, no, Amaya, we need an engineer just in case. Save that, and hold on. Not quite. We need to have something hold on to this thing while it's on the launch pad. I think it's just going to collapse under its own weight. Let's try that. And get these guys up here. Alright, save, launch. Alright, so far so good. SAS on. I don't know which will burn out first, the solid fuel blasters or these ones, but we'll find out. I have the solid fuel ditching first, but we'll see as we go up. Alright, F5. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow! 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 Not entirely the start you want. Yep, the top is bending like a whip. We don't want that. Structurally unsound ship. Alright, I am attaching a few girder segments for a little bit of added stability. And hopefully, does this reach now? Hopefully this will add a little bit of je ne sais quoi. Well, actually, I do know what to say. A little bit of added stability on our way up. We shall see. This is just probably a ridiculous design in general. And wholly unnecessary. But we'll see if that helps us. Well, that looks straight, unlike the last one on the launch pad is actually bending to the left. Throttle up. Wish us luck. Not the way you want to go. Alright, let's see if this one helps. Blowing in that wind. SAS on. Throttle up. How are you doing? You are... Whoa boy. Not doing that well. They're going to the moon. Alright, I think we found our solution for stability. And I know because I've tested this and we actually flew out towards orbit, but my machine crashed in the middle of it, so we didn't get any of that footage. So we have these octagonal struts. I tried using the modular girder segment and it works, but the octagonal struts are a fair bit lighter. So we have octagonal struts, 8 of them, on a few sections of our ship, just holding ourselves together. And it seems to work great. So let's give this a try. Let's check who our crew is. We want, not Mirabelle, we want Almaya, who is an engineer. Save that, launch that. And there we go. This isn't even bending on the launch pad, so this seems to be this seems to be a good solution to our problems, assuming we get everything up and into orbit. Alright, in 5, 4, 3, 2... Amazing. Amazing. Now in our last flight I did notice that our solid fuel boosters will run out of fuel first. And that's fine, that's their intention. I wonder if I put parachutes on them, whether they would have survived returning to the surface. We'll never know. Maybe on our next flight we could try that. But I'm pretty much going to boost straight up. Ooh, and keep it together there. Keep it to there. Come on, Valentina. We were drifting a little bit. Drop those. Don't need them anymore. Bye-bye. Hopefully they don't destroy anything on the launch pad. And we'll start turning over, actually. Our solid fuel boosters will burn out soon. So we might as well take advantage of them and go through the atmosphere, pushing this way a little bit. It doesn't look like anything blew up. At least not yet. Alright, start pushing this way. And we should be able to get ourselves to orbit. See what our height is. We are at 44,000 apoapsis. Obviously we have to burn a little bit harder, a little bit farther. Get ourselves all the way out there. But we are doing it as best we can. 53, still going up. And that's the important part here. This stage here, or all those lower stages, they were just designed to get us to space. Everything else is designed to swing us around moon and whatnot. 67. And that stage is gone. And all our staging is right so far. And I think we should be able to start turning over. Just like that. Get ourselves into orbit, hopefully. And there we are. We are in space. It's going to watch our apoapsis, or time to apoapsis, for a while. Eventually we will push it forward of us. But we don't want to get too terribly close to it. Just want to conserve fuel wherever possible. Uh-oh. That's not boding well for this race. We just lost that section. And we're not in orbit yet. So we may be a little bit pressed for fuel. Let's see how this works out for us. For nuclear section, we're actually starting to drop. We have dropped below where I wanted us to be. But I think we could probably raise our periapsis up and get into orbit without dropping back into the atmosphere. I hope. And there we go, I can see our periapsis. And should shoot around very shortly. Nice. Got that engine. We don't have as much fuel as I would like. What we could do is send a refueler ship up and restock that, but I think what I'll do is I'll actually do that off camera. This has been Mobius Rex for the Mobius Archives. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, leave us a like, leave your comments, and suggestions. We'll be back with you next time. Have a good day, and a wonderful night. Bye-bye.